just wait for a few people to join before we begin. Also, just check with others.
Yes, sir. Sir, Riya and Bhavani are joining in 5 minutes.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Typically, access might be good. Block that out. Perfect. Okay, so we'll start. I think whoever's here, Bhavani can join in later. You can see me.
No, sir. Your screen is visible, but your video is not coming.
Maybe some improvement of the Wi-Fi. Let's see. So, now,
Yes, sir. Visible.
chapter 1, we are done with. Okay, so last class we started with the introduction to censoring. Yes, we did about 3-4 censoring types, and I said there are total 8 that are available. Yes, Ria, can you tell me which all are there? Which all types of censoring are there?
Yes, sir. Left censoring, right censoring,
Mm-hmm.
type 1, type 2, random, informative, and non-informative.
Okay, and one that you're missing, which is Ashok's favorite,
Interval.
interval censoring. Clear to everyone? So we looked at about 3-4 of them. We'll quickly revise. Okay, so one thing for you to keep in mind here is that when the event happens, okay, event which is the area of interest, okay, that is not censoring. Okay, which means that if I'm trying to monitor death is not censoring. Okay, but if I am trying to monitor uh, discharge from the hospital and death happens, that is a censoring event. Understood the difference? Okay, so that's very important for you to know. Although here it is written, if the study ends before they die or have an outcome of interest. Now, the outcome of interest is debatable because the outcome of interest needs to be specified. An outcome of interest, if we are tracking that, then that is not censoring, that is the event itself. Clear? Then here are the 7 types, and I gave you the 8th type, which is random censoring, which almost occurs in all cases. Like 99% of the cases, it will be random. Okay, so the first one that we said is right censored is if I look at it from a timeline perspective. Let me just open the OneNote. Is that your daughter, Ashok?
Yes, sir. She's my daughter.
Yes.
She's play.
He also wants to learn actuarial.
No, we had a family medical emergency. My father-in-law is admitted. He's in a critical condition. So we all are in Chennai now.
Okay.
So just to see him.
I hope he feels better. When are you in
Yeah.
Chennai?
Don't know, sir, because I think he's a kidney patient and he's in kidney dialysis from the past 15 days. And earlier he was in general ward. Now they moved to ICU. So we don't know whether how long it will take to recover. Even he recovers also, we have to do the dialysis regular basis. It's going to be tough. So I will see the situation accordingly. I mean, I'll have to decide the stay because I cannot extend my leaves also, and my kid's school also there. She has to attend the annual exams.
Yeah. I hope and pray that he gets better soon. All the wishes to your family for a quick, speedy recovery.
Thank you.
Anyways, it's not the best moment to tell you, but I'll be in Chennai on 13th.
Okay. I will
Yeah.
be here for the next 5 days.
Yeah. Yes. So I don't know where you stay, but I'll be in T Nagar. So if you're close by, then I can come see you.
Uh,
If not,
T Nagar, yeah, T Nagar is not very far. Let's say from here it's half an hour max.
okay.
Depends on the
We'll
traffic.
coordinate. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now, if you look at it, starting with censoring, let's just draw. Now, if I look at from a timeline perspective, I've said that my experiment, there are two types that can trigger a right censoring. Okay. First one is if my experiment ends on a predetermined time. Okay. So I've said this is my timeline. This is year 0. This is year 7. This is year 10. Okay. And I have at the start of the experiment said that I will only monitor for 7 years. Okay. So whoever remains now, say for example, there would have been a death here. I'm monitoring death. Okay. There's a censoring here. There are three deaths here, one censoring here. Then there is 5 censoring here, and so on and so forth. Okay. By the time I reach, and suppose I started off with 100 people. Okay. By the time I reach here, I'm saying that I'm going to stop my experiment. So say for example, if there are 60 people remaining, then all of them become right censored. Clear? Okay. And the fact that it was stopped at a predetermined time, what does that mean? It means that it is type 1 censoring. Yes, because I said type 1 censoring is a censoring in which you stop the experiment after a predetermined interval of time. I don't know if we did this already. But if we haven't, then type 1 censoring means that I am monitoring till a certain number of years or months or a fixed timeline. Okay. And as a consequence of type 1 censoring being triggered, all other people here, the 60 people, become right censored. Now, do you know which 60 are they from the 100? Do you know which 60? Can you predict from this 100 that this person dying is someone who's patient number 8? No. 3 people who got censored are patient 14, 18, and 30. Do you know all this? Okay. The fact that number 8 dies is also random censoring. Understood? The fact that 14, 18, 30 die is also random censoring. The fact that the 60 remain, with 60 you don't know, that is also random censoring. Because from the 100, it could be 60 random, anyone, any 60 of those. Okay, so that is what random censoring means. Now, in the second case, I could have said, let me just draw it here so that you'll have it all on the same page. I'll draw it down. Okay, now if I've said that I have another same starting point 0, 7, and 10. If I have said that, hey, listen, while I want to monitor for 7 years, but out of the 100 people, and I'm checking for drug efficacy or cancer drugs or whatever, life-saving drugs. In that case, if my drug doesn't save or there are 25 deaths, that means my drug is not effective. This is predetermined. Huh? at time 0. This you look at failures because it's not always deaths. Okay. If 25 failures happen in my experiment while I am tracking for the next 7 years, I will close the experiment then and there because I know my drug isn't efficient. I need to get a new formula for the drug because at this way, by the time it hits 7 years, it may even be 50 deaths. And no one wants to buy a drug which has a probability of 50-50, right? Even 25% is a bad chance. Okay. They want to keep the efficacy high. They want to keep 85%, 90% so that people buy. Yes. So say for example, in year 3, total deaths have or failures have 25. What I will do, I will stop the experiment here. This is an example of type 2 censoring. What is type 2 censoring? Number of failures that I have predetermined have been hit. For example, 20 of you enrolled. Yes. I would have said if by semester 1, 16 of you leave, then I will shut the course. Example. There is nothing planned like that. Okay. Even if one of you are there, I'll teach you. Don't worry.
That was not predetermined, so it's not applicable.
Yes. Yeah. But in this example, I'm just saying that if it is predetermined, then it becomes type 2 censoring. Now see, please understand this. Just because type 1 is there, that doesn't mean type 2 cannot be there. In theory, I can design an experiment which says that the course will run for 2 years. But if 16 of you leave out of 20, then I will shut the course early. Okay. However, type 1 and type 2 cannot happen at the same time. If type 2 happens, type 1 will not happen because here in 3 years I've shut the course. So is there a question of it being completed at 7 years? No. And if it works till 7 years, then the 3-year thing didn't get triggered or that number of failures never got hit. So while in theory, an experiment can be designed in a way that type 1 and type 1, type 2 exist at the start of the experiment, only one of them can get triggered. Yes, unless by coincidence, on that 7th year, last time, 21st death happens. Okay. Then don't say, sir, but you said it can never exist. I've said almost never. Clear? Understood? Yes. So that is type 2 censoring. Okay. So type 2 censoring also, then say for example, how many people remain? 75 people remain. Here 75 people who are remaining after year 3 become right censored. So what is right censoring? And this is also random. Okay, this will also be random. Which 75 we don't know. Okay, at the start we won't know which 75. So 75 from this perspective. Okay. Now what does this mean? This clearly means that if I look at it from a timeline perspective, anytime my information is censored to the right, it is called right censoring. Clear? So easy to remember. That's why when I wrote down also, I said right, I will write at the right. Okay. Then we look at the other side. We said left. Now left means that I've come into the experiment. Now I said that these cases rarely exist because most of the times in clinical studies, you will be not allowed to take part in the experiment. So I gave you an example of COVID. People who were volunteering to be COVID guinea pigs. One of them came on the interview and said, I was supposed to be fit, but I found out I have a small heart murmur. So they did not include me in the experiment. Okay. So that is not left censoring. That is not part of the experiment only. Part of the experiment can be that, for example, I tell people that, okay, we gave the example of students who are coming in. So students who have joined the course, paid the fees, but then after paying the fees, they realize that they've attempted for 1 year, 1 month, and then we realize that the documents they gave are forged. So making them ineligible for the course itself. Okay, so they were there for 1 month, but once we found out, then they were removed. Clear? So this is left censoring. Another example of left censoring would be, I gave you my example of eye checkup. When I went for my pilot medicals, I didn't realize that I had specs. So when I went there, I'm looking at the screen and I realized, oh shit, I have specs. Okay. Now I don't know when I had got it. I just know that today I found out. Okay. And if I would continue on to my medicals, which I did to become a pilot, then that is a left censoring event, because I didn't know when. I just know that it was before a certain point in time. I just don't know by how much. Okay. So left censoring occurs rarely, but there are chances of it happening. But in medical practices, most likely that will disqualify them from the project or experiment itself. If they get disqualified, they are not censored. They were never there to begin with. Because then I will find a replacement. I will say, this guy is ineligible. Find me another participant. Understood the difference? Yes. So again, this is on the left side of the screen because it's before the start of the experiment. When did Vivek find out he had specs? Here on time 0. But when did he actually have it? We don't know. It could have been any time before that. So to the left or past. Yes? Clear? Then we said that there is interval censoring. And there are informative and non-informative censoring. Okay. Now, first, let me cover interval censoring, and then I will look at informative, non-informative, because informative, non-informative is kind of confusing. Okay. Because the definition of information is very simple. Everything is data. So everything is informative. Right. But that's not the case. Okay. So now if I look at interval censoring, now what is interval censoring? Interval censoring means that if I have predetermined, basically, if you remember interval censoring, it's easiest way for you to remember is remember this. Qx, mux. In Qx, what did we say? Death happens before x plus 1. But when we don't know, we just know that he was alive at x and didn't make it to x plus 1. Did it happen in the first month, second month, third month, fourth month? I don't know. I just know that I am checking on first day of the year, first day of next year, first day of the next to next year, first day of the third year, fourth year from now. That could have happened here. Where will I count it? Here. That could have happened here. Where will I count it? Here. When will I know? Here. So what does this mean? This means that the death happened in this interval. That happened in this interval. That happened in this interval. So this is interval censoring when I have predetermined checkpoints. And now these predetermined checkpoints can also vary. Okay. So they can vary, but they cannot just randomly do so. Okay. Now, for example, let me take a realistic example to make you understand what I mean. Okay. Say, for example, there is a cancer patient. There are 100 cancer patients discharged. Now the protocol is that first follow-up is in 7 days. Second is in 21 days. Third is in end of 2 months. Then 3 months. Then say 6 months. This is my regime. Okay. So this is an example of uneven checkpoints. Okay. Or the simplistic theoretical version could be 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. Okay. And in this also, realistically speaking, someone who doesn't feel bad may seek an emergency appointment here. Yes, you will not say, oh, doctor told me come only after 21 days. I'm not feeling well today, but I will not go. You will rush, no? Yes, but we are, for theoretical purposes, not taking those things into account. Clear? Now, in this case, what happens? That between 0 and 30, if you show up for follow-up 1, that means you're still alive. If you show up for follow-up 2, you're still alive. If you don't show up here, what does that mean?
Not alive.
Not alive. And you could have died on the 61st day.
Yes.
You could have died on the 89th day.
Yes.
Or you could have recovered and you would be enjoying your vacation in the Bahamas. I don't know. Yeah? Do I know whether you died or not?
Don't know.
All
because
I know is that at 60th day you were alive. So unless I know, someone tells me, some relative tells me or something tells me on the 90th day that, sir, today your appointment was there, but okay, we can't because unfortunately she passed away. Yes? Okay. What does that mean? That between 60th and 90th day, they passed away. Okay. So, but that is death. That is not censoring. Understood? On the 75th day, if they die, then this is censoring. Or death. What is this? Censoring or death? Yes, Ashok.
censoring. Because he died.
Death is never censoring. Death is the insured event. This is not censoring. See, understand what am I trying to track?
There is no show on 90th day. So that means the death would have happened in between 60 to 90.
No. See, go back with my example. There is a no show on the 90th day.
Yes.
I have no information. Okay. Then the patient's husband called me. Says she passed away on 75th day. Clear? So when I know this information 75th day, on 75th day, this is not censoring.
It's event.
The insured event happened. Okay. Now, if that call wouldn't have come, patients don't call, no? Like for my mom's follow-up appointment, I didn't go only to the doctor who was treating her. I went to my doctor. Right? So what happens now? Ideally, because they didn't show up on the 90th day, they are assumed to be censored when they could have, that I know that the last known was 60 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are assumed to be censored. Now you could take, depends on who you are, you could take that they were censored from here, or they were censored from here, or in between. Those are assumptions to take actuarially based on exposed to risk. We'll see that when we come to chapter 4. What is your exposure? Okay. But here, just for the sake of clarity, we will say that we came to know that they were censored at the end of the last period. Okay, but because we came to know only, so technically we will count the exposure as 60 days in my assumption. Okay, but because we came to know between 60 and 90, this is assumed, or this is called interval censoring. That between this interval, the censoring happened. I just don't know how much. I don't know whether it was 61st, whether I'm taking 60 days, whether I'm taking 61 days, 65 days, 75 days, 90 days. I'm not talking about that. That's one step ahead. But my first assumption is that it is not, I'm not aware, and it is interval censoring because it happened between predetermined intervals of 60 and 90 days. Yes? Clear? Just 1 second. Yes, thanks. Okay. Now, understood interval censoring? Any doubts? Okay. Here I'm not talking about when, what assumption we are going to use as a mathematical example. You just know that the censoring happens between 60 and 90 days. Okay. Clear? Okay. And this is a question for later, not now. What do we do if that patient's person called us actually and said, okay, oh, this death happened? Is that death or is that censoring? Okay, so that is something that we will look at later, or that goes under assumptions of what to do in certain cases. Okay, because you can't treat everything as censored, then you will skew your results. You will say that, oh, just because he's about to die, I will stop tracking him, censored. No, right? So we'll see what happens when we look at sums and practical examples. Yeah. Now, there are two types remaining. Okay, it is informative and non-informative. Now, what does this mean? Now, like I told you, information is everywhere. But if someone's censoring, now I'm only talking about censoring. Huh? I'm not talking about death. Okay. Say, for example, I'm talking about time to discharge. From hospital after surgery. Yes. Now, suppose there are 100 patients admitted for heart attacks. Okay. Now, from this 100 patients, on average, if I look at my past data, I will say, okay, it takes about 7 days. Doesn't take 7 days now, 3-4 days may you get, but I'm just giving you an example. Okay. Now, if I talk about 7 days to discharge, now from this 100 heart attack patients, if, and here does not mean that 7 days I'll stop tracking them. I am tracking till they get discharged. I don't have the 7 day as my closure time. It's not type 1 censoring after 7 days. Okay, this is just an average time taken. Now, if someone starts, if say, for example, 5 patients gets discharged on the 4th day, is this informative censoring? Yes, Anushka. You were not there last class.
What's that?
You were there last class.
No,
So what you attending two courses? One day you come here, the other day you go there.
sir. From today, I will continue.
Okay. Tell me, is this informative sensory?
It's left sensor. She did not join before. Now she's joining.
Okay. My focus right now is informative. Is this informative censoring? The example I gave you. 100 heart patients admitted to the hospital, average time to discharge 7 days. 5 patients get discharged on the 4th day. And assume this is censoring. Getting discharged is censoring. Okay, it's not the area of interest. So is this informative censoring? Yes or no? Where's Bhavani?
Sir. Sir,
And
it is informative, I guess.
it is informative, I guess. Yes, I know you have guessed, but it's yes or no?
Yes, it is informative.
Why?
Because we know exactly that they are getting discharged at the 4th day. So it is also related to our study. So it is informative.
So it could have, they could have got discharged on 7th day. So
But
that
we
is also
already
informative.
have, no, that would be not informative because our study is only for 7 days now. So
No, I see again, you all don't listen. There's a big difference between hearing me and listening to me. I told you that 7 days is not the end of the experiment, it's the average. I knew this question will come and this doubt will come. That's why I told you 7 days the average time to discharge. It's not the end of the experiment.
then that also would be an informative thing. Like if we are knowing they are discharging at 7 days, then that is also informative.
That is not informative at all. That is just information given to you. I'm saying the 5 patients who are getting discharged on 4th day. You said it is informative sensory. I'm asking you how or why. They could have got discharged on the 7th day on average, but they've got discharged on the 4th day. Is it telling you something?
There might be two possibilities, like they are fully cured or the medicine what they are taking is ineffective. So either way, they would have been discharged. Like
Medicine is
there might
ineffective. I
be
will discharge them.
like it would have been ineffective. So it is like there is no point in tracking them. So that might also be the reason.
So you're saying if your drug doesn't work on someone and you know it's not working, you will cut them out of the experiment and say censored and skew your results.
They should have they should have been given some other treatment, but not what we are doing. So I might remove them.
So they will remain in the hospital, no? Why will they get discharged? They may stay longer, no? Then, if this treatment didn't work, then they go on to some other treatment. In that other treatment, then they'll end up staying more than 7 days, no?
Yes.
or they'll take a transfer to another hospital. I'll give you that. Okay, they're taking transfer, but I'm not talking about that. I'm telling you 5 patients recovered and left the hospital on the 4th day. I'm giving you that they recovered. That means the drug worked, the surgery worked, whatever we did worked. Is that giving you some information? And there were 100 patients.
Yes, like
I know you have said yes, you've just not said why or how.
I'm thinking like how to put it into a sentence.
Okay. Yes, Ria, you want to try?
Yes, I'm also thinking the reason.
Okay. You agree it is informative sensory?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ashok?
Uh, Here, the patient recovered in the sense the event which we are talking about is happened. So he recovered, he got discharged. So there is no censoring, I think so.
Again, see, again, listen to me. Here I also told you, assume that discharge is a censored event.
Okay.
Assuming it is censoring, then what? Anushka?
Sir, what I understand is that if they if we inject them drug and they are leaving the hospital at 4th day by curing, it means that the drug is effective.
Okay, so
So we from here we get the information is that about the drug only. If we inject the people that drug, it is not uh, impact means it is good for the people. We can use it.
okay. Now you have injected that drug. Now heart attack means you don't inject anything, you do a surgery. But let's take your example. In this, you have injected the drug to all 100 patients. Then why haven't all 100 patients left on day 4? Why only 5 people are leaving on day 4? When on average, 7th day is when they leave. So what is the common denominator? Is drug the common denominator? Because if drug was the reason, then everyone should have left early.
But sir, everybody's immunity power is also different now.
Perfect. So you're getting somewhere. Tell me more. You're thinking on the right line.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, does that mean the 5 people who have discharged are having a better health compared to all the others?
Yes. So now here is where things get interesting. Okay. Information is defined as, Anushka, thank you very much. Because of you, Bhavani got the answer. She wouldn't have got it otherwise. But information in the world of actuarial science, information is everything. Okay, even small bit of information is information. But here, what are we trying to do? Here we are trying to see that the censoring, when it happens, does it give us information about the rest of the group? Now I said on average 7 days is taken. These 5 patients have got discharged on the 4th day, which means that they were healthy lives or healthier lives. Like Anushka said, better immunity. That means that on average now, when these 5 patients get discharged, perhaps the remaining 95 will not get discharged on the 7 days or the 7th day. They might get discharged on 7.25 days, for example, here. Why? Because the group, which was an average for 7 days, now the healthier lives have left. Now, some more healthy lives, say, for example, 10 lives will now leave. Say 10 patients leave on the 5th day. On the 6th day, 18 patients leave. So now all these patients are supposed to be healthier because the regime is the same. Let's now change this narrative to say, let's take a completely different example where we say that accident. Okay, we'll take a bus met with an accident on the highway, same amount of severity for everyone, 100 accident patients. And same treatment. Okay. Now in this, only the ones who have higher recovery power will leave, say, on the 5th day. The ones with lower recovery power will leave on the 10th day. On average, these people would have left on the 7th day. But when these people leave, does it tell me something about the remaining 95 people? It tells me that they are less healthy compared to these 5. So my average of 7 days may go higher. Then when, like I said, 10 more patients leave here, then it goes even higher. Understanding? So the information in censoring should give me some indication of the remaining members. Only then it is informative censoring. Okay, and non-informative censoring is when it does not give me any information. Okay, now for example, the follow-up 30, 60, 90. Let me go to the previous page. This 30, 60, 90. In this, if I don't know, if I didn't receive this call of 75-day death, do I know patient died? Yes, no, don't care.
No, sir, we don't know.
We don't know. He could have died. He could be partying somewhere. He could have recovered and taking a world tour. I don't know. This is non-informative censoring. He just didn't show up. Understood? Whereas that, because I'm tracking and the hospital says, okay, wow, you know what, this takes on average 7 days. These 5 people recovered in 4 days and left. Then it is telling me that these 5 people are in better health to be able to recover and leave. Yes? Clear? Okay. Now, so that is informative and non-informative censoring. We'll read what it is. I think we read the first 3, 4. Let's quickly read. Right, we read. I think right is fairly understood. Let's start with left so that you are clear on this again, so that there's no. Yes, Bhavani, please read.
Left censoring. A data point is below a certain value, but it is unknown by how much. This occurs less frequently. Left censoring is when we are not certain what happened to people before some point of time. Commonest example is when people already have the disease of interest when the study starts. Here we do not know the exact date of onset of disease. Can you think of a recent example of this kind of a disease and when such censoring might have happened? For example, as
Yes.
shown in the graph, subject 2.5 and 7 are left censored.
Okay. So this what? This we already discussed to be COVID. Yes. So you know some symptoms are there, but till the time your result comes, you don't know if it is COVID positive or negative. Yes. Clear? Now read interval censoring.
Interval censoring. A data point is somewhere on an interval between two values. Interval censoring is when we don't know when exactly the event happened, but are aware of the interval of time in which the event happened. For example, we know that the patient was well at the time of start of the study and was diagnosed with disease at time of end of the study. So when did the disease actually begin? All we know is the interval. Interval censoring can also occur if the observations are studied at intervals rather than continuously. For example, as shown in the graph, subject A is interval censored between time 0 and 1. Subject B is censored in the interval of 3 and 4. Subject C is right censored.
Okay. Clear? Right censored. Why? Because the experiment ended. If you can see here, end of the study. Yes. Yes. Ria, read type 1 censoring.
Yes, sir. So can you move that bit? I cannot see the screen.
You cannot see the screen. Type 1 is just still here.
Oh, okay. Type 1 censoring occurs if an experiment has a set number of subjects or items and stops the experiment at a predetermined time, at which point any subjects remaining are right censored. Here the time is fixed. Example, suppose a clinical trial is conducted for a new lung cancer treatment. A researcher is studying the effect of this treatment on lung cancer on 100 participants. She will end the study exactly 1 year from now. That's an example of a type 1 censoring.
Okay. Clear? Fairly simple. Type 2.
Type 2 occurs if an experiment has a set number of subjects or items and stops the experiment when a predetermined number are observed to have failed. So the remaining subjects are then right censored. Here the number of events is fixed. Example, suppose in the same example, if it is decided to end a trial if a certain number of participants in the clinical trial face adverse reactions and side effects due to the treatment. If 10 participants facing adverse reactions is the benchmark and it breaks, then type 2 censoring occurs as the study will end post that.
Okay. What does that mean? That number of failures are triggered and hence I am pre-closing the experiment. Yes. Type 1, type 2 can be set at the start of the experiment. They are usually there, but only one can occur. Yes, unless that coincidence happened on the same day both occur. Yes. And whoever remains then becomes right censored. Yes. Yes, Kaustubh, read informative and non-informative censoring.
Yes. Informative censoring occurs when events are not counted in the analysis due to reasons related to the study design. It affects the interest of subjects in the study. Censoring is not non-informative if it gives no information about the lifetimes. It does not affect the interest of study. Censoring in survival analysis should be non-informative. That is, the participant who drop out of the study should do so due to reasons unrelated to the study. Informative censoring occurs when participants are lost to follow up due to reasons related to study. For example, in a study comparing disease-free survival after two treatments for cancer, the control arm may be ineffective, leading to more recurrence and patients becoming too sick to follow up. On the other hand, patients on the intervention arm may be completely cured by an effective treatment and may no longer feel the need to follow up. If
Yeah.
these participants,
So just the intervention arm is your where you're actually getting the drug, and the other one is the placebo arm, which is the control arm. Okay, in this example. Okay, continue.
if these participants are routinely censored, the true treatment effect will not be picked up and the result of the study will be biased. Disease-free survival rates would be based on the patients who continue to be followed up in the study and would be overestimated for the control arm and underestimated for the treatment arm.
Okay, clear? Okay, so what is informative censoring here? Informative censoring here means that you are looking at some information that helps you determine who the remaining participants or how the remaining participants will behave. However, we don't want that to happen. In our experiment, we want to be unbiased. Okay, so when we do Kaplan-Meier and Nelson-Allen methods, estimates, in that the assumption is that the censoring is non-informative. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Now, why don't we want to know, or why do we not want to include informative censoring? Like I said, it kind of skews the result. So let me give you an example. Okay, now say for example, if you are walking down the street and you see a dog hurt. Okay, now most of us, we are not vets, but would you not do something to help? Even if you're not a dog lover, would you not call up someone, or say, or just try to direct some help towards that? Yes, most of us will. Yes, this is an example of bias when it comes to experiment. Okay, now when you do clinical trials, when drugs are being tested, now you will see in chapter 3 Cox proportional model that why proportional, because we need a base to check it against. If I want to check Kostub's performance to the group as a whole, or to specifically as compared to Bhavani, then I will check Bhavani and keep her as the base and check Kostub's performance on that. Okay, so here what is happening here, because you read about intervention arm and control arm, now suppose I'm doing 50, or let's say for example 100 again, 100 people's experiment or cancer drug treatment. Now if I give all of them the drug, how do I know how effective my drug was? So from that 50%, I will give placebo. Placebo means that I will give them no drug, but they will not know that. And 50, I will give them the actual drug. Okay. And who knows this? Does the nurse know this? Priya? The nurse doesn't know this. Does the staff around there know it? Do the treating doctors know it? No one knows this except for the person who's designed the experiment. Why? Because as humans, if we knew, say for example, if I'm a nurse working there and I know that out of the 100 people that I'm caring for, or let's say out of the 6 people that are under my care, these 3 are getting it and these 3 are not getting it. And I know that without the drug, these guys will not survive. So if the regime involves 8 infusions of the drug, will I not be tempted to say that, oh my God, this person is now feeling better after 6 infusions, and my other patient has got placebo and her health is deteriorating. Let me try and save her. Let me swap out. At least some chance to ho. So even the drug looks the same, the packaging is the same, the writing is the same, everything is the same. No one knows except that person who's designed the experiment whether this person is getting a placebo or they're getting the actual drug. Clear? Yes? Because that kind of information can skew my results. And I don't want to skew my result. Skewing is manipulating. Understood? Yes? Then informative, non-informative, please keep in mind, it should tell me something. It should tell me something about the people remaining. Okay? Then. Okay, we've covered everything. Now let's look at one question. Now let's see how many of you have understood. Yes, Ashok, you're up.
Yeah. An investigation is carried out into the mortality rates of a married male accountants. A group of
Of married male accountants. It's not
accountants. Group mortality rates of married male accountants. A group of 10,000 married male accountants is selected at random on 1st January 2016. Each member of the same group supplies detailed personal information as at 1st Jan 2016, including name, address, and date of birth. The same information is collected as at each 1st January in the years 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. The investigation closes in 2020. Describe the ways in which the available data for this investigation may be censored. Yeah. So, you want me to answer, sir?
Yes.
So there is a possibility for interval censoring because the sampling is happening at each January 1st of every year.
So what is your area of interest here?
So, mortality rates of a married male accountants.
That is your area of interest?
Yes.
So when you say censoring would have happened interval, tell me with example, what would have happened and why would it be interval censoring? Because the person could have died also, that is not censoring. So what is happening? That is that.
Event.
It says what is, read the question. Describe the ways in which the available data. So if you just write interval censoring, and if you write what interval censoring is, how many marks are you going to get? Only half.
Yeah.
This is a specific question. You need to tell me reasons. That's why the word describe.
Yeah. So here they have already set a group of 10,000 males. So there is no left. So there is no left censoring because there is no people who are joining in the middle. But
you don't have to invest your time in talking about what is not there.
Okay.
You're not going to get marks for that.
Yeah. So for 10,000 members, personal details they are collecting on every 1st January from 2016 to 2020. There is a possibility, sir, that some people might die in the middle of the year. Let's say 2017, middle of the year, somebody might die, and we don't know when they have died. So when we collect the data again on the next coming 1st January, so those people details may not available. We may not capture those details because the event death would have happened.
So
So
I
here,
just told you that is not censoring, and you're telling me that would have happened.
or maybe they were not available to give their information. We were not able to collect it.
We're not going to get marks for this. You need to describe the ways in which the available data for this investigation may be censored. And specifically only about censoring is asked. So focus on everything but death.
Yeah.
So now when you're saying interval censoring, give me an example on how interval censoring will play out. The same thing, but death.
Yes, but not that. Then there is no show off. So when we went to collect the sample, the male accountant was not there.
Okay. Why?
Maybe one I can think of is that he's not reachable. That could be the thing, or maybe he doesn't want to participate.
Okay. Okay, doesn't show up because for whatever reason. Okay. Okay.
Address would have changed, or he would have left the country.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll give that.
So we were not able to capture the details. We were not able to collect the details basically on the coming year. So we have to censor that person to carry out our investigation, mortality rates of the investigation, married male.
Okay. Okay.
So
yes, Tom.
Yes, sir. This is right. I will tell about right censoring because at the date of 2020, he may be some of the 10,000 accountants may be alive after this cutoff. This is right censoring is also there.
Yes. So, but as a consequence of which type?
Right censoring. Some of the accountant 10,000 may be alive at the end of the period.
Which
so
other censoring is there?
their exact death time is not known, na?
Yeah, they are not dead only. So how will you know exact death time?
Their exact time of death is not known. We only up to 2020 only we observe. So they may be alive after that. So right censoring is there.
Okay, so is this only right censoring? It is also some other type.
No, there is a interval censoring also.
If it's not interval censoring, this is not interval censoring.
It can have interval censoring because actual death could have occurred any time between two observed dates. Na?
No, but then you're not observing, na? You're talking about the people alive.
Yeah, that right censoring is sure, Pakka is there.
Right, yes. So at that same time, is there another type of censoring that exists for those same people?
No, but some people maybe drop out also, no?
No, but I'm not talking about those dropouts. I'm talking about the people who are alive in your example at the end of the experiment.
Yeah, right censoring is a Pakka. Then non-informative censoring also is there.
Okay, leave that non-informative. That's not important. What other type? Okay,
then
non-informative is there. Tell me two other types.
Another thing is that 2020, that experiment closing, you know.
So which type?
Type 1.
Type 1 censoring.
Yeah, type 1 is yesterday.
Type 1 censoring.
Yeah.
Yes, it could have been random also, it could be informative also, non-informative also, and it could be right. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Tom, understand the question.
Yeah.
With one example, you could have got 2 points. But you are only thinking in one direction. You
Yeah.
need to understand fully. Okay. What
Yeah.
else? Ria, Kaustubh was raised hands. Kaustubh, which are the types?
Yes, sir. There can be a element of random censoring as well, because we are given with the data of married male accountants.
Mhm.
So might be a possibility that they are no longer in the job. They have changed their profession.
Mhm.
So we would
Mhm.
exclude them from the study because they are no longer the
Yes.
accountants.
Yes. So here, see, sometimes it's very important. Like I told you, you need to have an eye for detail and you need to be able to understand. Why would I give such information to you? Married male accountants. Okay. Now here, left censoring also would have been present. Can someone tell me how left censoring will be present here?
If they are getting,
Because we don't know when these people have some kind of ailment, before starting. They may have some kind of
Nothing.
ailment.
Okay. So how does ailment got to do with anything? They'll die. I've never, in my experiment, I've not said that I'm tracking ailments.
No, because at the start only we know that they are married, but during the investigation we don't know that. Like,
Yeah. So that will be interval. No, next year I will come and ask. They will say, okay, now unmarried. But when will left censoring occur?
They
they,
left before we started the
yeah,
investigation.
before.
Sorry, they left what?
So they
Yes, say.
means they left before we started our censoring process.
How can they leave before we start the censoring? What are you saying? I don't know. The sentence doesn't make sense. You want to explain in Hindi? That is easier. Marathi also I understand. Whichever language you want to explain in. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, if somebody joined after we started the experiment,
Uh-huh.
and if somebody joined after some time, so that will come under left censoring.
No, how can they join after some time? It's given you 10,000 married male accountants selected on random on 1 Jan, which means it's a closed experiment. And joining later has nothing to do with censoring. Left censoring is when you have joined, but something else has happened. Like you need to.
But the potential is that, some accountants might have died before their name was included before that. They have died 2000 before 2016, but their name might have been included.
So then at
Um,
2016, I'll not on the day
No,
of enrollment,
some
I will
people,
not
some
include them.
accountants' name might have been included in that. So it is a left censoring.
And then name included has nothing to do with it. No, but on when they don't come for first, they need to be enrolled on 1st Jan. If they're dead before that, how will they enroll on 1st Jan, Tom?
No, that it might have come from my agency. So that agency might not have all these 10,000 people. Literally, it's not possible. So they have taken from third party agency. They might have included this name. So this is a
Okay,
case of
okay,
then it's a case.
okay,
Then it's a case of left censoring.
okay. But left censoring will happen only if they're
So some
part of
sort of
the
a potential
experiment.
left censoring. No.
Could be a vague example of left censoring. But in this case, I will not on 1st Jan when they don't show up, I will say, give me someone else. No, this person is
Yes.
dead.
Some people could have
Can I track this person's mortality if he's already dead? Can I include him as censored when he's already dead? No. The event of interest has happened. Like I told you, please note, if the event of interest happens, it is not censoring. Yes, Ashok, you were trying to say something.
Yeah, some people would have had a pre-existing or critical condition, which we
No, so
found
I
out
have
later.
that doesn't matter. Has it mentioned here anything on critical diseases or anything?
No.
I am just randomly selecting 10,000 married male accountants.
Okay, then after 6 months, we found that some people have, let's say, heart ailment or something. Then we will.
Doesn't matter. Even on day one, it's not a clinical trial that I need perfect health. I am just, say for example, today I tell you, Ashok, your homework is that your project is that now you do mortality study on all IAI fellows. Now, will you start excluding people who have heart disease or BP or everything? No, I've not asked you anything. I've just said track them and tell me.
I'll pick all the qualified people and then I'll start tracking
Yes.
how long they've
Not even. Yes, you are not even asking them whether they have pre-existing condition. Doesn't matter because that's irrelevant. I have just told you if they die, you let me know.
Correct. So this is.
So please understand the question.
How the left censoring will come. So, right.
Yes, Anushka, you've gathered your thoughts. Anyone?
Here it is left censoring. There is no chance of left censoring here because that it starts before this thing, so it cannot be have a left censoring. So only like type 1 and right censoring is possible. So potential right left censoring only that I told no about third party information set that wrong data they supplied. That's a potential left censoring is.
Okay, please understand this. I will say it again, Tom. If your example talks about death and I'm tracking death, it isn't censoring. Don't say later that I have not corrected you. I have corrected you twice now. If you write like this in the paper, you will think you're scoring high and you will score very low. For the fifth, sixth time, I've repeated in this lecture itself. If it is the event of interest that I'm tracking, that is not censoring. That is the event of interest. Please understand that. So if you're giving me examples again and again on event of interest of left censoring, it is not censoring. Yes, Bhavani.
Sir, here we are mainly focusing on married male people. So
Not people, accountants.
Accountants. So in this, left censoring is possible if the people who are married are not married before the next, like when we are taking the next information, the next year.
So that is interval censoring.
No, like in 2016, we took our first January 2016, we have our information that they all married accountants. When we are taking the same data in 2017, and that time we come to know that they are not married, then that would have been left censoring.
No, why left censoring? You're giving me an incomplete example. How is it left censoring? Were you married on that day, and did you, like, you have to give me, I cannot even give you a cross question because that will reveal the answer. But you need to go one step deeper. You got the answer, but you have not explained it, so you're not going to get the mark. Think. Yes, Ria. Anyone wants to try?
Means what I trying to say at that time,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we select the 10,000 accountants
Mm-hmm.
and
Married
we
male
take the
accountants.
male accountants and we take the information
Mhm.
and we start watching them from 1 January 2020, sorry, 2016.
Yes,
But
okay.
and uh, al- we have to investigate them also. So when we are doing our first investigation, at that time, some peoples are already died. Sorry, some peoples are already removed, or we
Why?
don't have
Why?
any information about them.
Why they removed?
So, sir,
Means
Go ahead, go ahead.
means we don't have any information about them. Maybe
But you had at 1 January
yes, at
2016.
1 January.
Yeah. Then you don't have it at 1 January 2017. That's what you're saying?
No, no, sir. That's not.
Okay. Okay. Then we're still at 1 January 2016. What is happening at 1 January 2016? I have asked you for your name, address, date of birth, and some personal information about whether you're married, your gender, your profession. Now, have you given me all this information?
Yes.
So you have my information. Next tracking information is on 1 Jan 2017. Yes,
Yes, right.
right? So if anything changes in between this, that
some
can't be left censoring, that is interval censoring. Left censoring happens before the experiment starts. Now, in this case, what is that example? Okay, this is the difference between applying what you learn and just theoretical learning. I gave you a similar example. If I don't know if I gave that today, I think I gave that today also. But all you have to do is change the context and give me the answer. Yes, Ria.
Sir, so before joining the experiment,
Hmm?
the person, like the person was single. So,
Huh? If before joining the person was single, then he will not be part of the experiment, no?
no, like at the time of the experiment, he got married. So we don't
So
have
how is
the.
that censoring? Am I tracking his anniversary? What am I doing this so that I can wish him anniversary?
No, no.
On
he was,
1 Jan 2016, was he married?
sir,
Yes?
his marital status might
Tom,
have
Tom,
changed.
Tom, wait 1 minute. Yes, Ria.
Yes, he was married on Jan 26.
1st Jan 2016, he was married.
Yes.
So why do I care till what in the past till when he was single? I don't care if he is married even on 31st December 2015 and 1st January instead of going for his honeymoon, he's come for my experiment. I don't care. As long as he is 1st Jan 2016, he is a married male accountant, then he is eligible. But in which context will he be left censored? Think about it. Tom, yes, you were saying something.
His marital status might have changed afterwards, no? That
Medical status.
marital status and marital, because he might
Marital
have been
status.
divorced, marital status, married, divorced,
Marital.
or spouse might have died or so. No?
Yes, could
He
be.
is no longer
So, so,
married.
so, so, so spouse died in the middle after 1st Jan 2016.
Yes, so it cannot
So
be a
then
left.
how is it? Yes, can't be left censoring then. What else? You're getting closer, but you're not there yet. You have to play smart. I'll just give you a fun fact. There were infinite number of pending cases in the legal system in India. I don't know what that number is also.
Yeah, the divorce case,
Please,
that
sir.
married case, but divorced later.
So he's going through a divorce.
Yeah.
He's applied for the divorce, but he is not divorced. So he's come to the experiment. But then he gets his divorce. And then he says, I can't be part of this study because now I'm officially divorced. So that is left censoring. We don't know when he applied for or when the first talk happened that I want to get a divorce. On 1st Jan 2016, he was married. Yes. Is he male? Yes. Is he an accountant? Yes. Yes. Same example can be applied to gender change. If he's undergoing gender change exercise. On 1 Jan 2016, was he male? Yes. Has he started the treatment much before 1 Jan 2016? Perhaps. By how much? We don't know. Same thing could have been done for accountant. He started with actuarial science. He's on his last paper. He's still working as an accountant, but he's given his final paper before joining and he's cleared. So now he's eligible or he's now moved to a actuarial job rather than accounting. Clear? You could apply in different contexts. So everything that is there in the question is a clue for you to think about. Otherwise, why would I give something random as married male accountants?
Then we have to define the concept of marriage, cohabitation can be possible. So that also is there. So legally married, that is, we have to define the marriage,
Yeah, so married is legally married only. You can't be illegally married. Yes. So we don't need to define anything. That definition is for the people who are doing the experiment. You have to worry about this part. Okay, so let's read the answer. Yes. Read, Anushka.
There will be a lab censoring of all lives that change marital status from single or divorced or widow to married during the investigation. We only know that the change of status occurred since the previous set of information was collected. There
Okay.
will be
So one minute. First of all, when you're reading, this is wrong. Okay. This should have say from married to single, not single to married. So when you're reading also, you should be aware what you're reading is right or wrong. You should question it. Just don't read because I'm asking you to read. Okay, you're not in school anymore. Okay, so if you get the PDF, please note this is an error. Clear?
yes, sir.
Because if he was single, he would not be part of the experiment itself. Yes, please
Yes.
note this. Okay, next.
There will be a intervals. There will be a interval censoring if the exact date of date of dates is unknown. Example, if only the calendar year of date is known. There will be a
Okay,
random censor.
again, 1 minute. Again, wrong. And you're not stopping.
Yes, sir. I know.
You know why I haven't corrected this part?
Exact date of dates. Exact
Death
number
is
of.
death. No. Here I am studying mortality. So death isn't censoring. Even if past paper tells you even if they've used that example, please don't include that in this thing. That is the area of interest. That is what I'm tracking. Okay. Is there any other definition, example you can use? Yes. So many other examples. So why do I need to stick to that? What if he decided to get a divorce now? Or what if his wife died in the middle? That can also be interval censoring, no? Don't
Yes, sir.
focus on death. And when you're reading, Anushka, and for everyone else, if you're reading, if you're just going to read blindly, then even I can come here, read it, and go, and you can learn and just learn to pass the paper and not really learn anything. Please pay attention. Please apply yourself, because if you are here, then you have the opportunity to increase your game from an average student to here. If you're not going to be here and then you want to compete in the market with the remaining IAQS students, then you are going to fail miserably. Okay? Because here I am not just teaching you. It's not a PPT. I'm not making you read a PPT and telling you English way, this what is what it means. You need to be able to apply it. This is what you need to do. You should start in increasing your brain capacity. If you're not going to do it, it's going to be trouble for you. CP1 exemption, forget about it. Okay? Please make sure you are expanding your minds, expanding your thinking. Yes? Continue now.
There will be a random censoring of all lives that change marital status from married to divorce or widow or give up the accountancy, and consequently no longer qualify as particular in the mortality investigation.
As
There,
participants, चश्मा है आपको? पहना है? क्यों?
no, sir.
Why you're not wearing? It doesn't look cool. I'm wearing it. I think Riya is also wearing it. Riya is also wearing it. Bhavani is also wearing it. Yes, so from next class, give us company and wear your specs.
Yes, sir.
Yes, if you don't have specs, no, lens cart is 1+1 free always. Yes, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Continue.
There will also be random censoring of all lives from whom data cannot be collected. There will be a right censoring of all lives that survive until the end of the investigation in 2022.
2020?
2020.
Cool. Yes, Anushka, before your exams, please get specs if you don't have one.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, if it's broken or anything. Any issues with that, you contact me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Kaustubh.
Yes, sir. In the third point,
Mhm.
can we just go back to the screen?
Mhm.
In the third point, it is written as that there will be random censoring of all lives that change marital status from married to divorced. So
Mhm.
here it is written as random censoring, but in a way, can we think of it as informative also, because we'll get some information from here.
That is why I told you, no? Now, of course, people will say theoretically, but without evidence, that a married person may live longer. Okay. but technically it's unproven. Okay. So is being married, is being male, or is being an accountant and changing that status from that impacting your mortality?
Mm, the profession can change because
Profession can
accounting,
change, but does it impact your mortality?
it can impact mortality. Like if it moves to some other risk class job.
What if he doesn't tell you? He just tells you that I have changed from being an accountant. I'm no longer an accountant. Then
Uh,
do you know
then,
what, whether he's become skydiving instructor, or he's just left his job, or he's been fired? You don't know, right?
yeah, we don't know, but we'll also censor him also, na, so that won't
No, we are
affect.
censoring him, but I'm asking you, is it informative censoring or non-informative censoring? You are saying it's informative censoring. I'm saying that if he says I'm no longer married, which is what the example says, does it mean that because he's now divorced or because there is widowed, that he will have a higher mortality?
No.
You can say on one end, yes, sir, but he lost his love of his life. Maybe he will, like Romeo and Juliet, have poison or kill himself, whatever. But can you be sure about that?
No.
And does it tell you anything about the remaining people in the group?
No.
His divorce, him becoming widowed, him losing his accountancy job impacts him. Does it impact anyone else? Random 9,999 strangers. So
No.
is him leaving because of these reasons impacting the 9,999 in my group?
No.
In that previous example, when we said that on average 7 days it takes. So if healthier lives leave in an experiment where I'm tracking survival time, if healthier lives leave, does it not make the other people on average less healthy?
Yes.
That is informative censoring. Here
Uh,
it is non-informative censoring because him leaving has no impact on the remaining 9,999. Understood the difference?
yes. Like the relevance factor, that here it is very less relevant, but in the previous example it
It's not
was.
a question of less relevant. It is not giving me any information
Hmm.
for the
Hmm.
remaining members in the group.
Yes.
See, less is subjective. That means it's giving me some information. I'm not saying non-informative censoring and partly informative censoring. Am I saying partly informative censoring? I'm saying non-informative and informative. Even some relevance and some information is information. So it is not less relevant. It is either non-informative or informative. Did you get the difference? See, in
Yes.
SRM1, the words that you use change the game. Okay. So please be mindful of that. Any more questions? Otherwise, we'll stop here.
No,
Make
sir.
sure that you guys have your exams prep and get some break before. Take your attendance. Any doubts? Where's my camera off? Camera's back. Just which paper today?
Business finance.
Tom wanted to attend a lecture also yesterday after that. Huh? Very good, Tom. Very enthusiastic. Tom was like, why is there no lecture? I'm waiting for a lecture at 10. I was going to message there, but then I was like, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so 07. Only chapter name is on parametric. Censoring. Okay. We have Bhavani, we have Ashok, we have Priya, we have Anushka, and we have Tom. That's it. That's right. All right. Thank you, guys. All the best for the exam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. I will see you next week. I will try and increase the number of lectures from March onwards. Now we're going slower, but don't worry. We will have many more to balance out. Okay. So don't worry about that, and all the best for your SRM one as well. Here, hopefully should be easy, not too much. And internal, then I'm setting now. So hopefully internal, by the time we're done, you will have 2 chapters, which is chapter 1 and chapter 2. So we should be ready for that. Yes, a lot more tougher, a lot more intriguing. And from maybe not, I've already mentioned that we'll be doing introduction to Nelson, Allen, and Kepler-Mayer. And from now, next lecture after that, sums will begin. Okay. So that means that I want you to be solving it properly, pen and paper. Okay. No, I'm traveling. No, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I couldn't solve. No. This is not passive learning. Okay. Proper solving. I want to see. Okay. All right. See you guys next week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.